wuce to bayi. Dauda lawan dare ya samu, ƙura ba ta wuce toka ba. Zamfarawa Allah ya yi, ga wanda shi muke tsammani. Dauda lawan a gwamna ya zo, farin cikin mutanen birni. Zamfarawa Allah ya yi, a ƙauyukan mu ba rudani. Dauda lawan a gwamna ya zo, mun bar waɗansu na gungumi. Zamfarawa Allah ya yi, Dauda mun samu Dauda zaɓin kowa. Zamfarawa Allah ya yi.
Number 4, that Lawal Dauda of political party PDP, having satisfied the requirement of the law is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
Monday, 29th May 2023 remained historic and indelible in the minds of the people of Zamfara State as it ushered in a new administration under Dr. Dauda Lawal, a former banker, a philanthropist, and industrialist who took the mantle of leadership as the executive governor of Zamfara State in the most trying moment of the state, amidst serious challenges and very high expectation from the electorate.
Expectation is very high, but much is on our security issues.
No nation can survive with illiterate people. Therefore, education should be given full priority.
I want Dauda to look at how he can critically enhance business in this place.
What he needs is an efficient, motivated workforce.
The first hurdle, therefore, before the amiable Governor Dauda Lawal is how to confront these challenges head-on to provide the avenue for good governance as necessary step to meet these high expectations. What a daunting task that many consider as a mirage. The ever-courageous Governor Dauda Lawal was unequivocal in his inaugural speech that he would indeed face these challenges squarely and systematically, as most of them have already been encapsulated into the 6 SMART agenda of his rescue mission in Zamfara State.
I assure and give all and sundry commitment that the government I will lead will be honest, transparent, accountable, inclusive, and result-oriented. We have placed emphasis on 6 principles as core in our drive to rescue Zamfara State, namely security, agriculture and food security, education, economy, healthcare, and empowerment.
The swearing-in of new secretary to the state government, Mallam Abubakar Muhammad Nakwada, and the Chief of Staff Government House, Honorable Mukhtar Muhammad Lugga MON, was the first official assignment undertaken by Governor Dauda Lawal. The issue of insecurity remains a major concern of the government and the people of Zamfara State, which has obviously received Governor Dauda Lawal's deserved attention within 100 days in office. This was evident in the governor's first engagement with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his visit to immediate past service chiefs and new ones, the National Security Advisor, Inspector General of Police, Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, where vital issues related to confronting the prevailing security challenges with a renewed vigor were extensively discussed. The governor also had a similar engagement with the General Commanding Officer at Division of the Nigerian Army, Sokoto, all heads of various security agencies operating in the state, as well as traditional and religious leaders.
We are ready to give them the maximum cooperation for them to function effectively and do the best in terms of bringing security in Zamfara by the grace of Allah.
All of us feel challenged. His Excellency also feels challenged, and we're picking the gauntlet, and in no time you see the result.
Signing of the Zamfara State Security Trust Fund Bill 2023 into law by Governor Dauda Lawal is an unprecedented milestone achieved by the present administration within the period under review. This important bill seeks to address the issue of funding, which has been one of the major impediments to the commitment towards addressing the protracted security challenges in Zamfara State.
This is a welcome development. and it has been something that is long overdue for it to happen in Zamfara State. So I give kudos to the Zamfara State government, the present administration, and the members of the legislature for initiating the move and for the governor accenting to it. It is going to make things very, very easy in the administration of justice in Zamfara State and security management.
We are in support of the trust fund because we felt that it's an innovation and a strategy towards gathering lots of resources and funds to help the security effort of the state government.
Basically, the primary essence of that law is to support government towards providing security for the people. It is geared towards supporting security agencies with logistics, equipment, and any other support that they may require in the course of discharging their primary responsibilities.
Perennial water scarcity in Gusau, the state capital, and its environ was one of the immediate challenges that Governor Dauda Lawal confronted head-on shortly after he assumed office. A very concerned and committed leader, Governor Dauda Lawal demonstrated his zeal of providing solutions to pressing issues when he conducted an on-the-spot assessment at the State Water Board and subsequently inaugurated the State Water Restoration Advisory Committee. The committee, under the leadership of a revered expert in the field of water supply and retired permanent secretary, Engineer Sani Bawa Dauran, has since delivered on the short-term plan component of its mandate as normal water supply resumed Gusau, the state capital, even before the submission of its interim report to Governor Dauda Lawal.
I am overjoyous over the resumption of water supply in my area as I was struggling to get the water. We were actually subjected to untold hardship as a result of the prolonged shortage of water in the town. We are very happy with the resumption of the water supply. May Allah assist the new governor.
Considering the fact that effective implementation of the Rescue Zamfara mission requires a formidable team, Governor Dauda Lawal has within a short period of time inaugurated the State Executive Council after a careful and meticulous selection process of the commissioners to serve in his cabinet.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution.
Our focus and priority is service to our people through efficient utilization of the little resources that we have. Government will not tolerate wastages in any form.
The payment of inherited backlog of 3-month outstanding salaries to workers and pension to retirees in the state by Governor Dauda Lawal's administration was largely adjudged miraculous, given the fact that all the efforts to get them paid before his coming on board seemed to hit the rock, as workers suffered untold hardship during the past administration. This kind gesture was closely followed by some vital reforms in the state civil service, which commenced with the signing of an executive order that reduced the number of state government ministries from 28 to 16 by Governor Dauda Lawal, as well as some bold steps to sanitize the state workers' payroll and block leakages. The overall objective is to reduce the cost of governance and enhance efficiency and effectiveness in public service.
I call on the good people of Zamfara State to remain steadfast and continue to pray for the success of our administration as we embark on the effort to build a stronger and more productive economy for our dear state. As we move on, inshallah, our reforms will yield the intended result for creating new job opportunities, generating more income for our state and its people.
A seasoned technocrat and legal luminary, Barrister Ahmad Aliu Liman, was also appointed the new head of service by Governor Dauda Lawal to champion the cause of implementing the intended reforms by the present administration.
They let the civil service faced a lot of vicissitudes. We have faced a lot of challenges. We have faced a lot of devastating conditions. Up to the last administration, when we had serious devastating setback, that anything that relates to civil service has been overturned, right from the administration, management of the civil servants, issue of accountability, issue of transparency, issue of expenditure control, issue of remuneration, including welfare packages for the civil servants. We face a lot of setbacks, to the extent that the last administration even skipped about 3 to 4 months salary. You can imagine a civil servant in Zamfara state faced with the situation of 4 months salary deficit. Where will he place himself? And Zamfara state that has been, caged by a lot of problems, insecurity, weak economy, a lot of problems. Even the local economy is being stimulated by the civil servants. That's why when you pay salaries, you see even the banks are bubbling. If you go to the markets, if you go anywhere, you find that the salaries boost local economy. So how do you expect, or what do you expect when you find that you have deficit of several months without payment? We face a lot of challenges, serious maladministration, the neglect of the entire service, even the way and manner the civil service is being run. You know that there were a lot of challenges. The civil servant is because of their resilience. That's why they were able to move on. Otherwise they could have moved to the street and start shouting. But alhamdulillah, now we feel we're having a government where the concern of the civil service is being addressed. And even the challenges we're facing now is because this government is trying to right a lot of wrongdoings that has been meted on the service and the civil servants. And when you are trying to redress the situation, you have to meet a lot of challenges. That is a problem. But inshallah, with time, we are going to surmount all these problems.
Governor Dauda Lawal equally initiated Zamfara Youth Sanitation Program, where 1,500 youth have been engaged in order to keep them off the street, keep the state capital clean, and ensure a systematic moral reorientation of the youth. Governor Dauda Lawal declared zero tolerance for political thuggery and hooliganism in Zamfara state.
This is the first step towards making sure we engage the youth. There are other programs lined up which very, very soon will be unveiled, and this is all part of encouraging the youth to become useful to the society and Zamfara state in particular.
Urban renewal program of Governor Dauda Lawal's administration has commenced in earnest within 100 days in office, with the signing of more than 9 billion naira contract for the reconstruction of Lalan to Lalan bypass road and some selected township roads in Gusau, the state capital, which have over the years been in a deplorable condition. The governor, who flagged off the first phase of the ongoing Township Roads project, said it will be replicated in other 13 local government areas of Zamfara state.
The affected roads include Bellabara roundabout, All Market Road, Bello Balau roundabout to Central Police Station Road, Bello Balau roundabout to Government House, and corner NKK, Emir's Palace to Tankinlua Road.
I profusely thankful to you for this commitment. Our prayer has been answered.
Alhamdulillah, so far we have done almost 90%. 90%. Because after this bridge, you are seeing this construction, what remains half 20 meters and that's all. So we now take the second phase. This is the first phase of the 500 meters, and inshallah it's 90% completed, inshallah.
What are your major challenges so far?
Alhamdulillah, our major challenges so far is right from the existence of the state. And we start our working, there is something like drainage right from existing. So that would delay the nature of the work. So we are the first one to create a drainage. And if you can see, the drainage is well standard, well equipped, and we have increased the level and the deep height of the drainage. That's why if you can go, it's almost like 3-meter intervals.
Muna ta neman irin wannan aiki fiye da shekara 25 ba mu samu ba. Sai wannan lokaci da Allah kawo wannan gwamna mai daraja Dr. Dauda Lawan Dare.
Domin ba mu taɓa gwamna wanda ke son jiha da ci gaba ba irin Dauda. Kuma muna fatar dukkan manhohin shi wallahi ba cuta babu cutatarwa.
Ko da iya wannan aiki kawai aka yi cikin kwana 100 na hanya din na wannan hanya. To alhamdulillah ina ga ce an samu wata 6 ko shekara guda.
Governor Dauda Lawal's ardent commitment to leverage on every opportunity that could fast-track the actualization of his rescue mission is evident in his various fruitful engagements with some federal establishments for appropriate interventions to the state. Most notable among them are the Federal Ministry of Works, Universal Basic Education Commission, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, and National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. Governor Dauda Lawal also met national and international development partners such as World Bank, UNICEF, DFID, Islamic Development Bank, Melinda Gates and Dangote Foundations, among others, for a robust collaboration to revive and develop various sectors of the state economy.
Considering Zamfara as one of the poorest states in the country, all the indices are there. In fact, you know better than us. And therefore, there is a need to do more.
We decide on which are the best projects to implement. And all the time, whatever we bring in is the best of the best in the world when we implement. But we'd really like your support that whatever we bring forward, that you help us scale up, because eventually that is how we'll reach most of the population.
And we are here together with partners to support the government and support the agency to vaccinate all children. I think, as you know, there's going to be challenges in reaching settlements in certain parts of this state.
The Zamfara state education sector, which glaringly has been in a state of comatose, has also received the blessing of Governor Dauda Lawal's administration within a shortest possible time under review. This is clearly manifest in the practical steps taken by the governor to settle the issue of outstanding examination fees the state government owed NECO and WAEC, which led to the withholding of results of public schools candidates in Zamfara state for 3 consecutive years, thereby making it impossible for the teeming affected youth to further their education in the nation's tertiary institutions. This is a history, as withheld examination results have been released, and as 3 students in public schools across the state sat for NECO examination this year and are confidently waiting for their results. Governor Dauda Lawal has also ensured payment of Zamfara State counterpart funds to the National Universal Basic Education Commission for the execution of various projects at primary and junior secondary schools across the state. In the area of healthcare delivery system, Governor Dauda Lawal has since started implementing the recommendations of the Health Sector Needs Assessment Committee led by a renowned physician, Professor Ismail Arzika Mungadi. This begun with a comprehensive medical outreach program which provides free surgery and drugs to especially the less privileged patients suffering from some serious medical conditions such as VVF, cataracts, and hernia. No fewer than 2,000 patients have so far benefited from the gesture at some designated centers across the 3 senatorial districts of the state. A serious and committed leader, Governor Dauda Lawal was among the governors that flagged off the palliative program to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal. This is in addition to the purchase of palliative buses to ease transportation problems among students in the state.
Zamfara State, along with other states of the Federation, is rolling out support initiatives which is aimed at alleviating the hardship faced by the people. I extend my gratitude to the federal government for granting each of the states of the Federation and its local government a loan of 5 billion naira, which will be discounted at 42%. Additionally, so far we have received 11,877 bags of 50 kilogram rice and 2,834 bags of 25 kilogram rice, which will be distributed in this initial phase across 6 local government areas. The first phase. The second batch of the federal government's food palliative distribution for the remaining 18 local government areas will commence as soon as the delivery is received. As we speak now, I was informed there are more trailers coming into Zamfara to upload both the rice and the maize. Now, to ensure that the support program reaches our people effectively in all the 14 local government areas, my administration will supplement the 5 billion naira with additional funds. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the distribution of these items or palliatives is just one of the series of the steps being taken to alleviate people's hardship and drive our state forward by creating new opportunities that can be harnessed by our people. Through the development project embarked on by our administration, numerous employment opportunities are being generated. Moreover, the infrastructure being developed and the government of institutional reform being carried out will make our environment more business friendly, thereby presenting immense opportunities for the state and its people. To ensure fair distribution of this support item, we have set up a committee chaired by His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Zamfara State. The items will be distributed as follows. For now, each local government will receive an average of 2,000 bags of grains. That is the first phase. As I said in my native language, there is also fertilizer, which will be distributed across the 14 local governments that will be shared to our various farmers, which will also boost agricultural development as well as increase food security.
Beneficiaries of this program are full of praises to Governor Dauda Lawal's quick intervention in this regard. The multidimensional challenges being faced by Zamfara State and the gross scarcity of resources to effectively address them call for not only devising ways of improving the state's internally generated revenue, but also prudent and judicious utilization of the public funds. This is the major reason why this administration is very meticulous and systematic in its approach to issues of governance. Part of the solution to provide a financial base for the state under a very clean atmosphere, Governor Dauda Lawal also inaugurated Zamfara State Revenue Recovery Tribunal and the State Anti-Corruption Tribunal, among others, to facilitate the actualization of the present administration mission in that regard.
As a responsible government, we are here to provide services to the entire people of Zamfara State. You're also aware of some of the financial constraints that is facing the state, which makes it a bit difficult in doing what we're supposed to do for the people.
By and large, the performance of Governor Dauda Lawal within the past 100 days in office represents the first step in the rescue journey intended to turn around the socio-economic status of Zamfara State. Let us join hands with the government of Dr. Dauda Lawal for a Zamfara of our dream.
Duk wani